May not be as hot as, say, Seattle, but Atlanta still has one of America's hardest working local music scenes.
And while local rock bands can be found playing in clubs around town, where they rehearse is another matter. Fox 5's Doug Richards joins us now with more on one of the busiest and loudest rehearsal venues in town. Doug.
Amanda, there used to be a time when garage bands actually rehearsed in garages, but then they started building houses in the suburbs a lot closer together, so that became difficult, which gave rise to places like this, the Metro Rehearsal Studio. Behind this door, there's a band rehearsing, this name that you've probably never heard of. Down this hallway here, the same thing's going on. And back behind each one of these doors, it's the same thing. Here's a band called the El Caminos. And they're full thrash as we speak. Now, there are 31 of these doors, all filled with bands, typically, all of them trying to make it in the world of rock and roll. It's a rock group with no name and only a couple of months' experience together.
I like the Deep Purple order myself.
Want me to go over Deep Purple?
Yeah, Deep Purple.
There it is.
And as the musicians sample and experiment and try to tighten up their sound,
think along the lines of Whiter Shade of Pale.
a dream begins to take shape.
It's a good thing. We're gonna work. I believe.
I mean, the sitar was one idea.
The rehearsal takes place at dusk in a refurbished warehouse outside of downtown Atlanta. And as the band with no name plays on, they find they are not alone. In the same building down the hallway, a group called the El Caminos is doing the same thing. Behind door number 24, a punk group called the Trash Candies is fine-tuning as well. And here's a glit rock group called Spectralux, doing the same thing at the same time. It all makes for a very loud time at a place called Metro Rehearsal Studios, a place where fledgling local bands go to pursue their dreams behind closed but only somewhat soundproof doors.
It used to be cool to be in a band, but now, everybody plays guitar or something these days.
And not every garage band has its own garage.
Well, this is a good place because you can make all the noise you want and your neighbors don't get mad. But sometimes it gets a little loud when you hear the Satan death metal band across the hallway.
It's loud as hell, yeah. Shut the door, soundproof your room.
She's wearing a high heel shoes, a leather and a lace.
Peak hours in this place can provide an endurance test for the eardrums, as a half dozen or more bands play at the same time.
It's just a swirl of sound or noise. You walk out into the hall and it's really just a din, a cacophony.
It's quite loud. And hopefully the band rehearsing next to you is a good band.
And loud as it is, it's still the sound of practice making something close to perfect and of dreams taking shape.
You want the ding, 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 ding?
I like the piano. If you just make some good songs, that's the first priority. And after that, build it and they will come. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Now, as we said, most of these bands are bands that you've never heard of unless you pay attention to the local music scene. A few, like a band called Sealy, have vaulted to marginal national prominence. It is that dream and that example that these folks behind all these doors are chasing and pursuing. Live in Northeast Atlanta, Doug Richards, Fox 5 News.
All right, we wish them well. Thanks a lot, Doug.